What's poppin', fam? Welcome to Don't Touch My Mindset, a podcast that is designed to uplift, inspire, and motivate you, and most importantly, share tools to help you protect that mindset. I feel good. No, like I genuinely feel good. What's poppin', family? Super excited to be back with you for another week of Don't Touch My Mindset. I'm your host, Jay Chase. Thank you so much for rocking with us. Thank you for tapping into the show. Thank you for the supporters, those who've been supporting the show. Like, thank you so much. You're allowing a vehicle for us to keep bringing you content over and over again, week after week, and high level content too. Like, you're allowing us to grow into the show, grow into our authenticity, grow into, our courage of doing different things. So thanks to the supporters. Huge announcement. We just got our 100th rating and review on Apple Podcasts. 100th 5-star, should we say that? 100th 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts. Super exciting. So thank you guys all who rate the show, share the show. If you haven't rated the show, please, 5 stars, rate the show, share it with a friend. It really helps the show grow. The 90-day challenge is underway, guys. I wanna just spend a moment talking to you about the 90-day challenge and what it's done for my life, right? This is my roadmap to personal development. This is what I do on a day-to-day basis. If you're like, Jay, how'd you get to where you are? How do you do the things that you do? How do you take control of your life? Well, I designed it in 90 days. Starting in 2018, actually, I reconstructed, reverse engineered how I wanted to live my life. I believe in 2 timelines, 10 years, 90 days. Everything I do in the next 90 days should take me closer to who I want to be in 10 years. Right? So the 90-day challenge is all about getting you closer to who you want to be in 10 years. So I'm super excited to have you join us on that. Over 250 people are taking on this challenge, and I send you the invitation as well. Come be the best version of yourself. Not a better version, but the best version of yourself, and get around community and like-minded individuals where your growth can grow and flourish, right? So if you haven't joined yet, check the show notes for the link below. But today, I want to talk about mindset. I want to talk about courage. I want to talk about what it looks like for the mindset to build courage, right? And when you're building courage, how to implement Don't Touch My Mindset into that, right? What does courage look like? What is the cornerstones of courage? And then we're going to talk about steps it takes to building courage today. Super excited about that, guys. Like I said before, rate, review. If you haven't rated or reviewed the show or shared it with a friend and something resonates from the episode, do so. I love you guys. Thank you so much for rocking with me. Let's get into it. Let's go. I always want to start off with a quote, and today's quote I literally came by on the Random Motivation app. I know you guys probably have it, but I came by it and it stuck with me because I'm like, yo, that's what I did. That's exactly what I did. And today's quote is, the best revenge is letting them see you level up. The best revenge is letting them see you level up. Right? And that stuck with me because I'm like, okay, do we acquire more money? Do we acquire a promotion? Do we get a new job? Do we move to a new city? Like, what does leveling up really look like? And then I had to ask myself, Jay, you know me, take it a step deeper. Like, what does leveling up really look like? If you want to get revenge on somebody who hurt you, did you dirty, somebody you can't stand to be around, somebody you're lacking forgiveness for, right? What does that revenge look like in a healthy, ethical, good value of valuing people way? And that's letting them see you level up, but not on the outside, right? Anybody can see anybody level up on the outside. I've seen many people, $1 million company CEOs, who are not happy because they didn't level up on the inside. So that's what I want to talk to you about today is actually being bigger on the inside than you are on the outside. Getting revenge on that person who wished harm upon you, getting revenge on that person who wanted to see you fail from the inside out. How do you do that, Jay? How do you become bigger on the inside than you do on the outside? That starts with character. It starts with that invisible force that is the foundation for who we are, for what we stand for what we don't stand for, our non-negotiables, our standards. Like, it starts with character, and we got to start there, and we have to start building that in order to, get back or level up or get to the next level or actually become who we want to become. And I always think that there's if somebody asked me to break down character today, which I am, nobody asked me to, it's just been on my heart, but I believe character is made up of 4 cornerstones, right? There's 4 cornerstones of character that you need in place in order to set a good foundation to start building on, right? And that, I wanna start by saying your character can improve, but it's up to you on how far you develop that, right? I came from a shaky, rocky past, sketchy, let's be honest, sketchy past, to the person that I am today. One, thank God, and who I am in Christ, but also because I've built my character. Step by step, cornerstone by cornerstone, these 4 cornerstones, one, start with authenticity, self-regulation, humility, and courage. Courage. I said those are the 4 cornerstones of character, and I want to walk you through them in a way where you can, one, identify them within your own character, see where you need the most improvement, and then I'm going to give you some practical tips on how to build that, right? So authenticity, starting with number 1, I think is the most important because it's uncovering the real you. It's really getting to know who you are and what you like, what energizes you, what makes you happy, what triggers you, what motivates you, how you communicate. Like, your authenticity is truly who you are and your unique blend. Like, okay, when Jay shows up, connection, growth, integrity, honesty, he's gonna tell it like it is. He's led by the Spirit. Like, when Jay shows up, I'm authentically me, always, and unapologetic about how I am. When it comes to, I was talking to Adi about this, when it comes to our personality styles and our range of flexibility and our behavior modification due to environments, people, my flexibility is quite rigid, actually, that I'm always going to be who I am. Now, that leads me to the second cornerstone of character, which is self-regulation. Self-regulation can only come after you develop and find out who you are. You guys know me, my 3 levels of mastery: understand self, understand others, and then you recognize situational needs. What's the best need for this situation, right? Is it me or others? But self-regulation is mastering your inner world, knowing how your actions, how your emotions, how your behaviors actually impact others, right? So now we're taking it a layer deep on the understanding me part, right? So self-regulation ties self-awareness with how you respond. That reaction that you give, that response that you give when things aren't going your way. Do you make that face, or do you smile through it? So you got to get to a point in authenticity to where you know who you are, how you communicate, what motivates you, what energizes you, what fills you up, and also what drains you, in order to get to the emotional intelligence part of actually self-regulating of how you show up. People are like, oh, you have to show up authentic. No, you got to be authentic first. You have to be authentic first in order to show up authentic. And to show up authentic, you got to know how to self-regulate, right? Otherwise, you're molding into expectations of the rooms, the behaviors of others around you, and then you find yourself going further than you wanted to go, or staying longer than you wanted to stay because due to aggressive people, or you not being your own self, right? And that's okay. Many of us has found ourselves in that situation or that predicament before. I get it. I'm not here to tell you that you're bad and you're never going to do that. I'm here to show you how and how to get over that, right? And I want to talk to you about humility, which is the 3rd cornerstone of character. And embracing your humanity is humility. Accepting that we are flawed individuals. Accepting that, there's going to be mistakes along the way. we're going to spot check ourselves before we spot check somebody else, right? If we expect somebody to operate here, then ourselves better operate 10 times more than that. Ourselves better put ourselves in a higher position. And not to say that we're better, but I always expect more from me than I do somebody else who shows up. I always expect more from me because I'm in control of me. But I embrace my humanity, knowing that I'm human and there may be mistakes along the way, and somebody else might make a mistake on the team or somebody. And trust me, I got a big heart. So it's not the fact that I don't forgive people, but we're sinful and flawed by nature. So I spot check myself before I spot check somebody else. Then I spot check my leadership before I spot check somebody else. Then I spot check the problem before I spot check somebody else. And then we dive into what's the real issue here, right? Because embracing your humanity is, I honestly say, the most important part of character, because character has to be focused on other people at some point, right? Authenticity, me, self-regulation, how I show up, but then knowing that like I'm not going to be bitter at other people and say their character's not in check when I haven't embraced my humanity and say, we're flawed by nature. There's still some things that I'm still working on something. Like I'm doing well enough in my life where I don't have to grow another inch. Like I'm done. Like if I really wanted to, I could coast right here and go do it. But I push myself because I know that there's still flaws that I gotta work on. So, and in order to embrace and attack and improve those flaws, it takes the fourth cornerstone of character, which is courage. Braving the courage to face the person in the mirror. Accepting that there needs to be change. Accepting that, okay, it's time to change. That there may be some growth gaps from where I am and where I want to be. And it takes courage to attack those gaps. Like not everybody's going to get up every day and say, I want to be the best version of myself. The reason you're listening to this podcast or watching this podcast is because you have made it very clear that you want to be the best version of yourself and you're willing to do what it takes to get there. And I'm telling you right now, from day one, that's going to require courage. And that's going to require you to build that courage within your character, within yourself, to confront the hard parts. Look at the person in the mirror and say, it's time to be everything that I'm supposed to be within me and bring that out of me, right? And I want to encourage you by saying this last point that the process never ends when it comes to building character. If you focus on those 4 areas and you pour into those areas of getting to know you, getting to uncover the real you, and self-regulation of how you show up, how your actions impact others, embracing your humanity and really dropping into that humility of being human, of knowing that we're sinful by nature and flawed, and we spot check ourselves before we spot check somebody else, and we have the courage to confront our growth gaps and our mistakes and the things that have held us back for so years. That process doesn't end because if you don't do it now, the gap's going to widen. 2, as you get to your next level, you guys heard me say it, shout out to season 4, new levels, new devils. We're always evolving. That means we're always going to be healing. That process doesn't end. So I want to leave you guys with these 3 questions of what are your standards? Are you practicing self-leadership by doing the right thing, right? Or refusing to do the wrong thing if everyone's watching? And lastly, are you valuing people? Those are the 3 things that it takes to build character. If you're pouring into these things, remember that if you embrace good values, you practice self-leadership, you value people, and know that your betterment and bettering yourselves is for other people, your character is going to grow in these 4 areas automatically, right? You're going to find out who you are. You start to discover yourself, right? Shout out to the Discovery Program, but you start to discover yourself, how to regulate yourself, how to embrace your flaws, but also have the courage to change them or improve them. Look, I love you guys. You guys have been absolutely amazing. If anything resonated for you from this episode, like share it with a friend. Thank you. Rate, review, follow us on Instagram at the at Don't Touch My Mindset or at the J Chase. Follow us, DM us, tell us what you like about the show, drop some suggestions on what we should talk about. Season 5 premium content's coming. I cannot wait for you guys. We have a big announcement soon. Hang in there, big announcement. If you haven't got on the 90-day personal growth challenge, go do it. 90daypersonalgrowth.com. Go sign up. Go better your life. Take the step today. Like, we all know what it takes to get over our growth gaps, and that's why I do what I do to help you guys, to coach, consult, train, lead. But I want you guys to take the first step and just go sign up for the challenge. Check the show notes. I love you guys. Big announcement coming soon. Until next week, until we're back with another Pivotal Moments, which we got some exciting episodes coming to you. Stay focused, stay inspired, stay connected, and please, 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 don't let anyone touch your mindset.